Good afternoon and welcome to Beyond the Headlines. We're here at Gallo Grill and Bar. I'm DJ Moises. Today's story is not just about food. It's about how far someone can go when they refuse to stay where they started. From Cebu kitchens to the Caribbean, from European crews to leading large multicultural culinary teams, his career has crossed oceans and cultures. And today, he brings that global experience home as the executive chef of Jpark Island Resort and Waterpark. Please join me in welcoming to Beyond the Headlines, Chef Geoffrey Vistal. Hello, Chef Geoffrey, and welcome to the show.
Hello, and thanks for having me here.
We're also just as grateful for sharing your expertise this afternoon. But before we start, maybe you'd like to greet some of your friends who are watching.
Well, I can't really tell names, otherwise other people will get jealous. I'm just going to say hi to my wife, my whole family, and my wife, Annalene. That's the only name I can say. And my kids with Diane, Denise, and Dean, and France Dean. And other than that, they might get jealous if they're not going to get mentioned. So, and my family, all over the world as well. Some of them are in the States, and some of them are in Europe, and some are in Liluan.
Oh.
My brother.
So hello, and thank you for joining us this afternoon. So among the things, the moment I realized that we're going to have this conversation this afternoon, I'm actually curious, Chef, but was cooking always part of your childhood, or is that something that surprised you later on in life?
What's quite funny, actually, I don't like cooking when I was a kid.
Really?
Yeah, my mom and my parents actually always asked me to cook for them, but I said, no, I cannot cook. I just cook fried fish because that's the easiest way that I can do. Salt and then fry it until it dies.
So cooking is something that eventually surprised you later.
Yes.
So what point of your life did you eventually realize that I think I love cooking?
Well, it was when it was actually when I started working in the kitchen. Yeah, what actually inspires me is my surroundings. So and I saw, I mean, like, because I love arts. I draw. I play music. So I guess being an artist at some other point also brings me up as because culinary is arts. And working in the kitchen and preparing food is also, art has a big part in it.
Is there a particular smell or dish that once you encounter them, they would bring you back to your younger years?
There is. It's actually inununan, if you know. If you know inununan, or what they call fish paksiw.
Yeah.
If that smell, I can't really, because my mom loves to cook it, and my father at night, he also loves to cook it. So that's the usual smell in our house, especially during weekends.
So now that you have already pursued cooking as a career, can you still remember the first day that you had at the kitchen at Waterfront 25 years ago?
It was horrendous.
What happened? Tell us.
It was the very first day, because I used to be, I don't know if I can mention, but if I mention there, I used to be a writer contributor for a certain newspaper.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so well, to cut the story short, I wasn't able to continue it because I was very young. I make foolish decision in my life, so I get to be in the kitchen, and then basically it starts from there. And then when I get in the kitchen, it's different. It's a different scenario when I was writing, because I was in the office sitting down and whatnot. But when you're in the kitchen, everyone was 25 years ago. The kitchen is very different. Just so you know.
How different was the kitchen?
Everyone
before?
was screaming. Everyone was throwing pot and pans. And I have some bosses that slapped me in the back, but it made me stronger.
That must be an experience, though. But now that you are already where you are today, what can you do confidently now that used to intimidate you when you were starting?
Oh, I can go in any houses. I open the fridge and I'll make a food. I'll make a food out of what they have in the fridge. So I guess that's those are the things that I can confidently do, and execute flavors out from what they have.
And I would understand, just like any human being, we're not always on or game all the time. So in those times that you're not exactly 100%, no? What's your motivation that would push you through, no?
Well, if it's motivation inside work, it's basically what I usually do is that I have tasks to perform, and I have an assignment that's given to me, and basically you just have to perform, or you just have to give all that you have just to get the best out of it.
So I can tell that you're the task-driven kind of person, that once there are assignments that are in front of you, or there are goals that you've set for the day, regardless, no? You're professional to follow them through.
Yes, we have to push it through. Like I always remember what my chef says. If I tell him I have a problem and I cannot do it, and like that, and he will just answer me, "Make it happen."
Sige. Now you have also traveled and also led multicultural teams. No? In your opinion, what particular Cebuano or Filipino value that has helped you in your career?
I think a lot of Filipinos, we could adjust easily anywhere in the world. I think that's what we have, that not all other not all, but not a lot of foreign countries that they embodied, because a lot of Filipinos, I notice everywhere I work around the world, they can easily adjust, and they are willing to adjust.
And then in terms of the lessons that you learned along the way, what particular lesson that took you the longest, but now is useful, no, in the job that you do today?
Well, in connection with the first question, is actually understanding other people's behavior, because that's quite hard to maintain, and that's quite hard to, sometimes you have also ego, you have your own pride, so when you're working with different nationalities, you just have to let that go.
And working with different people of different nationalities and even cultures and kanang tradition, how do you consistently earn respect, through the years?
Well, for me, I don't ask for respect. I show them what I can do. I show them what they will learn from me, and I'll show them that I can execute things, especially on a challenging consequences.
And speaking, oh, sorry.
Let me just add, we made a kitchen for 2 days in here, so that's something that's very hard to do, but we did it.
Which is a great accomplishments. Now, speaking of complexity, before you were able to accomplish that milestone, I've also read that you managed kitchens serving up to 2,800 passengers every day, no? So how does that scale shape you as the leader that you are today?
Well, or more though. 2,800 or more.
Oh,
anyway,
okay.
yeah. Well, the thing about large production or large execution is you have to maintain focus. You have to maintain standards. And on the ship, the different thing about working in the ship is you have to maintain corporate standards. So it's more of an implementation than creation. That's the difference between working in a hotel, because here I create. Yes, there I just have to replicate and
Whatever is
stick
set.
to the standard. Okay.
And then whether it's today, the way you create, or in the past, the way you implement, what do you think are the non-negotiable global standards, that kitchens must have, whether outside the Philippines or inside the Philippines?
Well, it is public health, hygiene, food safety. That is non-negotiable. You cannot say, oh, maybe this is okay, or maybe this can be done without this, or without performing this particular discipline. So
Okay.
food safety is non-negotiable.
Well, safety is always everyone's.
Yes.
Now, you've also worked with French and
Yes.
also Spanish culinary consultants abroad, no? So what techniques also that you learned from them that you now apply in the work that you do?
Well, strict compliance to standards, and even they become their own self-critic, and they always think that they should be better than what they were doing a while ago or a few days ago.
Are there any particular sabi na siya, taste or texture that you are also introducing now based on what you learned from them?
Well, as much as I could, I try to stick to authenticity.
Okay, got it.
But nonetheless, I cannot be called an authentic. I cannot call my cooking as authentic Italian because I'm not Italian. I cannot call it authentic French or. But as much as possible, I try to respect the ingredients, the discipline, and the culture.
And speaking of discipline and culture, there's been a lot of talks recently about Michelin system. No? So how were your experience also on Michelin influence system that you now also bring with respect to the quality, of the food that you are elevating?
Well, Michelin. I never worked to a Michelin restaurant, but I've worked with people who work with Michelin restaurants. I think I've worked with a Spanish Michelin chef for not really long, but it's just like quite a short because it's just consultancy, Michelin consultancy. What I notice is precision. Yes, that's what I noticed from him. Precision. Every single detail is counted.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but I've also read somewhere that one of the opportunity areas for Filipino cuisine is on presentation and detail.
Yes.
So what from that experience, or at least from people who you have worked or consultants you have worked in the past, what are now the kind of presentation and detail that you are applying on Filipino cuisine?
Well, as much as we would want to stick to classic, you also have to evolve. You have to evolve and look at modern presentation, modern approach, because by this and then incorporate with your classical knowledge and or classic preparation. So I think we sit from there. I don't want to do too much modern things, otherwise we destroy the culture.
The authenticity.
Yes, and the authenticity of the product of what we're doing. But as much as possible, we incorporate it.
Are there any significant difference between a local kitchen, so that maybe Cebuano or Filipino, from a European kitchen, for example?
Well, aside from the machinery they use, it's different because it's well, but I think I would just talk about the people inside the kitchen. Yes, because the Europeans are very particular on what they're doing, and at some point that they're very strict to it. At Filipinos, we will be able to adjust, and pressure wise, they put too much, not too much, but they would put too much pressure for someone who hasn't been working in the kitchen. For me, no, I take it, I eat that every day.
and that and all these experiences obviously brought you to the success that you are today. But if we are to go back in time, so this is like about over 25 years ago, what part of you, maybe as a person, as a chef, or as a leader, that did not change through time? No. Mao ra gyud gihapon.
Well, I have always been a cook, and I will always be a cook. There are a lot of chefs that once they get into certain position, they stop cooking, and they more focus on the business other than loving the craft. I stick to it. At the same time, I focus on the business.
And I'm sure you've also been getting interest, from people like me who are curious also, because you are already a world-class chef.
I hope so.
You are. And we still have viewers who are good chef, but they are still on their way to becoming a world-class chef. No? So what are your tips for them so that they would be able to evolve effectively from how good they are today in the Philippines to a world-class chef that they can be just like you?
Okay, if a world-class chef should always be a good chef, and then being a good chef is actually understanding what you are doing if there are things that I don't understand, during my younger days, I always see a lot of things that I wonder what's this and how they did it, and I always find time to research, and then it gives me an answer.
And were there, whether it's your personal experience or observing also the Filipino chefs no, around, what advantage does a Filipino chef that we sometimes overlook?
I think resiliency, we overlook it, and then because they always thinking that
Because it's always there, no?
yes, because it's been with us since we get it from our mother's womb. So so I mean that's been with us, but they never realize that they have that power to conquer everything and anything which they dream of.
And this one, my next question is the reverse, no?
Okay.
Because I'm glad, I would agree with you because we've been resilient through time.
Yes.
So we no longer look at it as a competitive advantage when in fact it is. Now, on the reverse, we also tend to have limiting beliefs no, that we put ourselves in a particular box. What are the limiting beliefs also that you have observed for a Filipino chef that he or she needs to let go of for him or her to eventually transition to become a world-class chef?
Well, getting scared and don't want to go out of the box, because a lot of, especially those people I've worked with 25 years ago, they stick to where they are right now because they don't want to explore. They don't want to explore, and they're scared that they might not pass, or they might not push through, and they might not get successful to where they want to go. I think that they need to let go. If you fail, then go ahead, start over.
And aligned to that, just in case, no, this is the young Geoffrey,
Okay.
you know, and then he is talking to you right now. What do you think would he be telling you?
The young Geoffrey will be
Yeah.
telling me, I don't know. I'm when I was young, I never think. I just work. But yeah,
By the way, did you expect this achievement to happen when you were still the young Geoffrey?
I did not expect, but I put it as one of my goals. I never expect anything, but I push through and I strive to reach it.
And now that you have achieved this, what are the things, or who are the people who you are thankful for?
Well, first was my father, because he's the one who introduces me to, because there's a long story behind it, but
You can
but,
tell us.
but technically my father actually asked me, just, you know what, you, because I'm a musician back then, and then he don't want me to stick to it, and then he asked me to join the kitchen, and then we have our neighbor who works in the kitchen, and then he asked me, that's Chef Nito actually, so I owe him big time. So now here I am. I never expected that I was actually gonna resign on my first day, because I'm not used to working in the kitchen, scream at, and then thrown pots and pans. So.
And now that you are, no, I'm not going to say you're the one throwing, but you're already now leading, no,
Yeah.
a multicultural kanang team. I know that in spite of the success that you are in, just like any successful person, there's always room for improvement.
Yes.
So how do you stay hungry for you to improve every single day?
I just keep learning every day, and even until now, I open books, and I open books. I want to learn more, and every single thing that I see on YouTube or TikTok, or even Facebook, that I said that looks good, I want to learn how to do that, and you know
Yes, I continue.
that's how you keep yourself hungry, and that's how you keep learning.
Any particular video on TikTok or content on TikTok recently, no, that you could say, I think I want to learn that?
Well, I can't remember the names though, but I
Is it
saw.
dancing or no cooking?
No, cooking.
Okay, continue.
No,
yeah.
I can't remember the names, but there I saw a lot of modern Filipino cuisine, and they transform it into a certain fine dine settings and whatnot. So I mean, like I learn from those as well, and I don't stick to the books, because I always explore, and I always think of something that I can create. And, you know, from a simple turon, you make it to something elaborated and fine dining setup. So I mean, like from those type of things.
By the way, you mentioned turon, which
Yes.
is among my personal favorite, along with banana Q. No, I'm just curious. Also, do you have that certain interest to also promote a Filipino food, no,
Of
and
course,
elevate it to the global stage?
Yes, of course.
What are these? You can tell us more.
When I came back from the ship back in 2016, I thought I learned a lot. I thought I learned French, Spanish, Mediterranean cuisine. But when I get back, there's a lot of things that I don't know about Cebuano cuisine, and a lot. One thing that I really would like to dig in to cook is the famous nilarang in Pasig. I went there and then I had to understand it. I had to know what is it. And like balbacoa. So I started with the Cebuanos, a lot of Cebuano dishes. And I introduced this food even when I went back to the ship, I also brought it there. And they love it.
I actually had a taste earlier of this lechon kawali pizza, no, and I love it.
Oh, that's
So that's an example of how a Filipino cuisine
Yes.
can actually be elevated.
we also do sisig pizza, but that's in Abalone, but that's much better, way much better, especially when you're drinking. No,
Yeah.
the
I know,
lechon
I know.
kawali pizza is very good, but when you're drinking, it's a different story. When you have the sisig pizza,
Correct. I will have to agree with the sisig pizza. Even if I have not tried it, but I think I will after this one. Sige. So now, if we go to your leadership journey, your current leadership journey, and this is also for our viewers who also want to follow the path that you are taking, no? What's the most important trait this time, not just as a chef but also as a leader, no, that a future Filipino leader must have, so that he or she will also be as successful of a leader that you are today?
well, just always be humble. Keep your feet on the ground. Listen to your people. Listen to your crew because they're your life support. And listen and be open to suggestions. Don't be close minded, even if it comes from the dishwasher. So, from that, I think you will be a good leader because you understand their feelings, you understand their emotions, and you understand what they need. And you will understand what the company needs.
And I can already anticipate your answer to this question, but I still want to hear your thoughts about this. Do you believe that Filipino chefs are really globally competitive?
Of course. I mean, like Filipinos naturally are competitive. But what I suggest, don't be competitive, but be innovative.
And is that something? What about those who took a different degree, but now that they are also working, like you did in the past, that you also did the news, and then you realize that, hey, this is not the path for me. I want to pursue being in the kitchen and becoming a chef. What would be your advice to them? Those who want to pivot.
Well, it's basically stick to what you're good at. And when you're good at it, make the best out of it.
And I'm just curious, Bob, is that something that is taught, or is that something that you need? Cooking should be something that you should be interested in the beginning.
Well, I wasn't interested in, I wasn't interested
So
about it in
that's
the beginning.
learned, no?
Yeah, I learned it because I want to learn. It's actually more of a personal note to yourself that if you want it, you really have to push it.
So you are among those leaders who would say the goal is important,
Yes.
because regardless of your current situation, if that is very clear to you, like you did, then that's something that they can
Yes,
achieve.
exactly.
And what about the things that Filipino or a young Cebuano chef should not doubt about himself or herself?
Well, anyone can be a chef. All cooks can be a chef. So don't doubt yourself. Just go for it. Just keep trying and keep pushing forward. But take it slowly. Otherwise, when you speed up the process, quality takes time. Just like cooking.
And they tend to miss the crucial
Yes.
steps along
Yes.
the way. So if a young dreamer is watching us today, and then, by the way, this might be a dream that's related to food or dream to work internationally and succeed internationally, but dreamers in general, what would you tell them?
Well, work for it. Don't just dream. You go wake up and then start working, and just push for it. And then don't even stop. Don't even think of stopping. Don't even think of resting. Just go for it and work for it.
And I'm sure there are also more people like me who keep on saying that, my goodness, chef, you are already successful. No?
Okay.
What does success mean to you today?
Okay. Well, as a leader or as someone who leads a team, success is even when you take a day off, nothing happens. That's what success is. Otherwise, if I take a day off, then everything falls down. I'm not a successful chef or leader.
So that means you have effectively taught
Yes.
your team to be just as excellent as you are.
Supposedly, yes.
So that's the measure of success. So now I'm obviously a big fan of yours, no, and I'm anticipating that even beyond this one, you will continue to be on the headlines. So like what we always ask a lot of our guests, beyond the headlines, no, Chef Joffrey is.
Well, I'm a working man.
Okay.
I'm a working man, and at the same time, I'm a family man. That's it.
Okay, so thank you very much, Chef, for joining us today.
Thank you very much for having me.
sharing your expertise and also for reminding us that a Filipino talent like you can stand confidently on the world stage and still come home to lead. Now, where we start does not determine where we finish. Excellence is not just about where we begin, but how consistently we move forward. And that is the real story beyond the headlines. I'm DJ Moises, and to our viewers, keep going. Your story is still being written. Have a good afternoon.